Stephanie Negrotti are in studio. Natalie.
Hey, guys.
Good to see you.
From Big Brother 18, the Jatalie cruise with Natalie and James from Big Brother and Carnival Cruise Lines set sail Sunday, April 2nd, and returns Sunday, April 9th. Portions of the proceeds from the event will go towards the Bullies Reality Foundation.
Yes. Well, it's great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
So fun to have you here.
You know, we're all Big Brother fans here. I personally think it is the most difficult out of all the shows to play and try to figure out. From a strategy standpoint, I find the show to be endlessly fascinating. Who
I
does
agree.
what when?
I agree with you.
How did you like your game? Your season?
Honestly, I loved my game. In the beginning, I was just observing. I played the ditzy and flirty card.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, I'm going to come in and flirt and be super ditzy. I didn't want people to really see that I'm kind of intelligent. I mean, I don't do math, but I was laying low in the beginning.
Yeah.
I wasn't a gamer. I didn't know the game that well. So I was, I got recruited for this. So I was like, I got to learn. And I learned throughout the season. And I really kicked butt. Like, I flipped the house to get Zaki out. I helped to get Polly out. And I was really proud of my game moves. Like, I really, stood my ground and started making big game moves. So, I mean.
When you're in there, though, does it get to you? I mean, is it nuttier than we could even imagine?
A
watching?
1,000,000%. Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It really challenges you in every way possible, physically, mentally, emotionally. It's very, very difficult.
Now, of course, I would assume that, being just in that house all summer long would be really intense. But I heard something that I don't know why this freaked me out more than anything else, is that you are not allowed to have a pen or paper the entire time you're there.
Well,
I don't know why, but that fact really freaked me out.
It's all memory. I mean, this is a game, and you're in it to win $500,000. So, I mean, a lot of the competitions are memory, too. So, I mean, if you have a pen, anyone can study any day.
Plus, they could write notes to each other instead of hearing us talk.
But I just realized how many times a day, even just to for stress, do you pick up a pen and doodle or make a note because you want to? I'm like a big note taker. I make lists of things I need to do. It would really freak me out.
Yeah, Nat writes her calendar out. She doesn't even use her phone. She writes it down.
What was it like for you seeing your sister in this weird glass prison all summer long?
I mean, I wish I could have just reached in the little glass square and hugged her, but
right.
And sometimes when she felt stressed, I couldn't sleep.
She lost a lot of sleep.
I lost sleep and I was anxious and all this stuff. But
were you watching the feeds the whole time?
I tried to not watch them as much. It was because I saw people saying some things. I'm just like, oh no.
Well, people are going to say stuff about anybody who's in the game, but I also think that the women take it a little tougher, because a lot of times I think they're harder on the women for being in showmances, or for the women for laying low. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, they get a lot of.
But that's because the internet is the internet. Everybody puts up with it.
Yep.
You wouldn't want to read Trump or Hillary's internet today. They're like, Jesus Christ.
So what's happening today? I forgot. There's a big election or something.
But so the stress of the game is tremendous.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And you wake up in the middle of the night and you realize that you're on a TV set. You wake up in the morning, you realize you're on a TV set.
Honestly, to be honest with you, I never once thought I was on TV the whole time I was on.
Really?
Never. Because you don't have human interaction, so you just see cameras here and there, but you're just you're living there 24 hours a day, every day. I made it in the house 86 days, so it's my natural habitat,
Yeah.
You really can't fake something else that you're not. Your true colors come out, and you're there every single day.
How long do you think it took for you to adjust to it, though? That you were just this is what life is like now. I live in this house. I can't talk to anybody.
I adapt to new circumstances. I've moved so much my whole life that, I lived in Venezuela, in Florida, in Boston. I've lived all over the place, so I feel like it was just, I adapted very quickly. For me, it was easy to adapt, even though it was a really difficult situation to be in.
Just the inability to scratch your butt without everybody knowing
You do not even know the stresses, even changing.
Sure.
I have a meme on my Instagram that's hilarious. It's me with a towel with a bra, something on my head. I look like a hot mess. I have pimple cream all over. America gets you at your worst.
Right. They really do. But you would play again if they asked you for All Stars?
1,000,000%. I
Yeah.
really fell in love with the game. Like, I so fell in love with it, and I learned it, the ins and outs of it, and I started making big game moves, and I wish I would have lasted in the house a little longer. I mean, I won an HOH, you know? So I had a little bucket list I would set in the house for myself to accomplish, and I would meet all those goals. So definitely, I'd be ready to kick some butt.
Now, would you have played the same game, or would you have hooked up with James, or would you have
If
picked
coming
somebody
back,
else? No. Let's suppose if you had that game to play over. Did you think using James as your partner was the smartest move, or would it have been easier to be a single?
honestly, I would have played the game all over again the same way.
Yeah.
James did teach me a lot in the beginning about the game, and I was able to use all the information he taught me and, play my own game in the end. I would do it all over again the same way. But moving forward, going into a new season, I would definitely have a new strategy. Obviously, no showmances, but
Right.
I would come in with a new strategy moving forward.
I think the thing is, you never know what strategy is going to work. It changes season by season.
And it's
then
the chemistry of the house.
Yeah, and it changes week by week. One person's out, and suddenly the house
dynamic
changes 1,000,000%.
What was it?
I agree.
What was most shocking to you? Like, what did you go into it going, okay, I think I'm gonna approach it like this, but realizing it didn't work for you?
In the house, like the most shocking,
Yeah.
you'd say. Honestly, everything was really shocking. Do you want like more like strategy wise or
Yeah.
personal?
Yeah, strategy wise.
Honestly, I'm very loud. I'm very peppy. I'm very girly. I felt like sometimes my personality really did make me a target. So that was like one of the hardest moments, and I had to balance that out.
Right.
So that was one of the most difficult situations.
Now,
I'd
would that
say.
make you a target more with the other females or the other males?
The
other
females. The
yeah.
females. So not only are you in this house and I came in with a ripped six pack, like I would work out, you kind of have to stop everything you're doing. You have to analyze the house, analyze your surroundings, and realize how people are around you and how they're perceiving you. Like, I stopped working out in the game. I gained 15 pounds. So you kind of have to really like play your cards right and adapt to your new surroundings.
It's just because it's like when you go to a new school and you find out these aren't the cool sneakers.
Yeah.
They're the cool sneakers. You know what I mean? I thought these were the great sneakers. Now they're not.
Everyone told me
Yeah.
they're not.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I need to stop working out. I need
Yeah.
to not be a threat. Every little thing you have to analyze. Like, even my cooking was making me a threat. So I stopped cooking in the house. I was like, all right, you have to tone down who you really are at times.
I think the fascinating thing is for the family, too, at home. We only see about once or twice they'll show. But I don't think I'd be able to stand to see people mad at Gail or, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
that would drive
it's
me
so
nuts.
difficult.
That would drive me nuts.
Or I'm sure that you had moments where you're like, don't trust this person because
Right.
you're seeing all the behind
I mean,
the scenes stuff.
There are moments from all angles. Like, for example, when people would bad talk Natalie out of the house and, them not knowing who she is.
Yeah.
Many times I wanted to call them out, but that's not the thing to do. They probably don't know who she is, and I don't know who
Right.
they are, and it's just not very civilized.
What about
and,
people in the house that you think, oh, I can't stand them? And
yeah.
Was there one? Was there two?
I mean, there was a few, but peace, love, and happiness, right?
Who for you?
I couldn't stand Paulie.
Paulie.
I could not stand.
Now, but let me say something. Do you think Paulie cracked in there a little bit? I mean, Paulie seemed like he was cracking up to me.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
That house brings out your inner demons. It brings out the worst in you.
Sure.
I'm going to defend everyone in the house because at the end of the day, like, even I had, breakdowns and cried. The kid, I'm sure, broke down in the house. Like, it's
Yeah.
a very difficult situation to be in. You don't have your support system, your family. You're locked in this house for all these days without your support system. Like, of course, you're going to lose yourself a little,
I definitely would. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, I've been on car trips with people that by the time we get to Miami, I'm like, I'm going to stab you in the neck. And I fucking, you know what I mean? And these are my best friends. I drove from New York to San Francisco with a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to kill him.
Well, once he got to that like butterfly moment with James.
Oh, that was insane.
That was like, I was
'Cause you had
actually
to make pies.
concerned.
Yeah.
I was actually concerned.
And
when
then later
shed a
he said,
tear.
look, I was just playing that for the house. I'm like, I saw you crying when it was just
You're
you.
not that good of an actor, dude. Like, that was the real
If
you.
so, give him an Oscar already.
But why is he crying in the confessional? There's nobody there that you're playing games with. You're losing it.
He's working the producers.
What was
Yeah.
it specifically about that butterfly? He was like, it's a spirit Or I don't know. He
was out of his mind.
Was really cracked at that moment.
See, I didn't get to watch that, so I guess
You
I'm
would've
pretty
loved
fortunate
it.
on that end. You know,
You never went back and watched the season.
I've watched 2 episodes.
And said, I can't do this.
I can't relive this.
I'm honestly not ready to watch it yet. I can't wait to watch it, but I've been really busy traveling a lot, so you know, I'm gonna watch it later on.
Chris, it says you went for a nice plug there.
Natalie Negrotti's in studio from Big Brother 18. The Jatalie Cruise with Natalie and James from Big Brother and Carnival Cruise Lines set sail Sunday, April 2nd and returns on Sunday, April 9th. Portions of the proceeds from the event will go towards the Bullies Reality Foundation.
Now, James was your ride or die guy, and you guys are working together outside, doing stuff like that. How much fun is that? And does he remember the game the same way that you do?
It is so much fun. Honestly, I have more fun with him outside of the house because there's no cameras.
Right.
And I can actually cuss sometimes and be myself a little more and be super crazy and no one's judging me.
Yeah.
So I love it. And we're having a good time.
Yeah. He's a good guy, huh?
He's a great guy. Honestly, the nicest guy, nicest human I've ever met in my life.
He came very, very close to at least final 2. I kind of felt.
I know.
Yeah.
My heart was broken. Like when I saw him on that stage and he made it to final 3, but he didn't make it to final 2, I was just like, my heart just dropped for him.
Now, do you think he would have won had he been in final 2?
To be honest, I do think he would have won. A lot of people are naysayers and they say he wouldn't have won, but people say this game isn't played personal. People play this game personal. There's no way of getting around it. And I feel like people would have played personal with him. He has a daughter. He's a great guy.
Right.
And honestly, he didn't really hit the block until, once or twice, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, he played a really clean game, in my opinion. So
I thought the guys screwed up by voting him out.
Paul didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Paul for not selecting him final 2?
I think they could have kept you, and it would have worked to their advantage.
1,000,000%. And that's what I told Victor when he got evicted. I was like, it's funny because you got out right after me, and I was the only person that wasn't going to put you up on the block if I won HOH.
You were also playing it more with strategy, where James is just like, well, you were nice to me earlier in the season. Me and you were buddies, but I don't think that he had the sense of strategy that you had. And I'm a strategy fan above all. I don't care who stands on top of a pole the longest and who can throw a duck through all that stuff drives me crazy. But the thing that I love is the game changes, your strategy changes with it. And what I love is the fact that people, it's got to be the craziness of the house. People get mad in a way they never would in a game. No one gets mad in baseball if someone's stealing second. You don't say you're a bad person, you stole that base. But they get really mad at this this game.
I agree with that 100%. People get really, it's a game for $500,000. So I can only imagine the fans outside in the world and and us playing it. But I do feel like strategically, like I played a really smart game moving forward. Like I observed, I used my strengths to get through the game. And a lot of fans afterwards were telling me that I was very in tune with my gameplay. Like I was calling things and calling out different alliances. And they're like, you hit it right on the spot and you weren't even in the room with them. So
right. But then James was like, no, I don't know. I don't think so.
Honestly, James was chilling. No, to be honest, I'll defend James. He just played a really clean game. He didn't get himself in any messes, and he was able to not hit the block. Yeah, did he not have to work as hard as everyone else? No, but, I feel like that's smart in and of itself.
Yeah, there's just all different ways to play it. You know, sometimes you come in and you're aggressive, and a lot of times it's better just to not do anything for 9 or 10 weeks, which is intensely hard. That's intensely hard.
Slept, right? Some people slept in the beginning.
You sleep a lot. You sleep, eat, and sleep some more and gossip. That's all you do in the house.
I remember when they used to smoke on the show. The smokers would go outside.
Oh, you can still smoke outside.
They just don't air it, right?
I don't know.
Oh, is that right? Because that seems like a good way of acting like, well, we're not friends, but we're just both smoking, and then you could get a little plan going.
I don't think that anyone in my season really smoked, so maybe that's why.
Who's your all-time favorite player that's played the game?
In all of history, honestly, I was never a big gamer, but I really like Rachel Riley. I heard she's pretty awesome, and I really support her. She's a badass chick.
She actually came in rough, you know what I mean? Like she played as the target, went out for it every week. normally we could say that's a bad thing, but if you win, it works. Just like any other game, any other sport, if it works, and you can't get upset with that.
It's funny because you can come in one season with, one personality and you can be loved, but if there's a different dynamic in another season, you could be hated. It really depends on, the people you're with.
So you guys grew up in Venezuela, right?
Yep.
So
Venezuela.
moving here had to be an incredible culture shock, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, we were a little bilingual. Spanish was our first language. So when we moved back, the first place that we remember was Tampa, like the first American place.
Yeah.
And so that was weird, even though, I was a little intimidated by people with blue eyes and like super blonde hair. I was like, whoa, like these are Americans.
Even though you were born with blonde hair.
Yeah.
I mean, I had it a lot harder than her because I was younger, and I was in ESL for 2 years. I got held back, so I couldn't speak
First
English.
grade.
It was really held back. It was really
Tough grade.
I couldn't understand anyone.
So to do that, when you adapt to that type of thing, that might even help you with the game, right? That ability.
1,000,000%. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It definitely did.
To just change your reality for a little kid.
Yeah.
And we moved around a little bit with you, and I remember your personality would change depending on the school.
Yeah, and also like you're gonna change anyway because you're young, but you kind of get this like reset button where you're like, okay, now if I'm gonna walk into this situation, especially after you've done it a couple times, you kind of just can assess like, okay, who do I want to, like, what do I want to put forward in this new experience?
Yeah.
And kids will change anyway. You know what I mean? Like, you're already, like, trying to figure yourself out.
But then you look at Chris, he lives in the apartment he was born in, and you've never crossed the Hudson River yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
He's crossed the East River.
All right, after the show, we're going.
Why don't you take a Jersey trip?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good starter trip.
Bust my cherry.
Jersey's fun, I promise.
I just saw a thing on NJ.com today where they were saying South Jersey better than North Jersey. They gave like 15 different reasons. And the Jersey people are fighting with each other. That is a state
that's a great
right
way.
now.
That's a great way to divide the people and get different votes.
Yeah. Even when Hillary's trying to bring us all together.
I'm sure her intentions are all pure.
You're going to be doing your Big Brother show that you do with Vito.
Big Brother and the Holding Company, yes, the podcast.
Yeah, how is that doing right now?
It's doing very well. It's doing really well.
And Natalie is your first big celebrity guest on the show?
Yes, that would be beautiful.
Where is she in your favorite players from her season?
It's, all right, it's Natalie, it's Frank, and it's Paulie.
Yes!
Really? Paul, yeah.
Yes!
Paulie, I lost it. I just
Frank was a shark.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he was a shark, but he just got in too deep towards the middle.
Here's the thing. Nobody played harder than Paul. Nobody changed his game more than Paul.
Amazing.
I mean, he came in as the creep. And, two got voted out, and he's like, hey, I'm a nice guy. And I was like, I love
Paul played a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
He was able to adapt to his surroundings. This kid is intelligent.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. He's very, very smart.
And he couldn't have started lower. Like I think everybody right away they were like,
on the hit list. He was on the
they were like, this guy's pretty
The guy
annoying.
with the beard.
APAC wanted to hit. He was on the top of the hit list. Him and Victor. And Jose.
And he turned it around, and that's always amazing. Now, you watching this online season that these guys are watching?
Big Brother Over the Top.
Yeah.
No, but I do see Big Meech and my stuff is still in the house somehow. They find my bracelet, so they play with it. They found Meech's bra the other day, so they've been playing with it.
That is so crazy.
So it's hilarious.
They didn't really clean the house.
They lost. All of them lost a lot of stuff. I hear they couldn't find
you lose things in the house, and honestly, we probably place things in drawers deep down inside because you try to hide your things sometimes too.
Yeah.
So I guess we did a good job hiding things.
Well, they've never done 2 seasons so close
back to
together.
back. It was literally a couple of days after. It was really,
There's a week between seasons.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's going to be where, Chris?
That's going to be on the interrobang.com. That's Big Brother and the Holding Company.
All right, when's the new episode come out?
Tomorrow. It will come out tomorrow.
All right, so we're going to end this show. We're going to run down and try to see Sting again.
Yes.
Yes.
Sting is singing, and he sounds unbelievable. He's down in our lobby. And he looks unbelievable.
He
He's
looks
ripped.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
I think
very
he's
handsome.
61 or 62
great.
He
years
looks
old.
better than most guys walking around the city.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
My sister fangirled out, and I've
Did
never
you?
seen her
Yeah.
fangirl out before.
He's not like my style, but
Not for a
he
guy
looks
either.
great. He looks great.
Yeah. Not. But also, by the way, he's got $670 million or something crazy like that. I mean, he's got one of the most successful careers of all time, and that's David Frick, by the way, from Rolling Stone magazine.
Oh wow.
Is interviewing. So David Frick has been one of the great rock journalists of all time. That's really cool to be able to see those guys sit down and do that.
Yeah, well, we came around the corner just hearing his voice. I was like, wow, he still sounds fantastic.
I know. He still sounds like it's 1983.
Yeah, he has the same voice.
And he's swagger too. I like the whole
Oh yeah.
like turtleneck and like jean thing going on. I was like, wow, I gotta get me that outfit.
Watch a movie called Quadrophenia when Sting was young. He never says a word in it, and he's the center of the movie. And
It's just like-
he doesn't talk at all. People talk about him. It's amazing. It's an amazing performance.
No, we should get you a show like that where you don't have to talk. You can just
Just sit and
No,
be there and other people
I like
bring it.
talking too much.
Natalie and Stephanie Negrotti have been in the studio. The Jatalie Cruise with Natalie and James from Big Brother and Carnival Cruise Lines set sail Sunday, April 2nd, returns Sunday, April 9th. Portions of the proceeds from the event will go towards the Bullies Reality Foundation. On Twitter, it's Natalia Negrotti.
Woo!
All right, that's it for us.
All
Thanks
right.
so much, everybody. Thank you guys for
Thanks
being
for
here.
having
It
us.
was really a pleasure to
Thank
meet you
you.
both.